Sweet. Well, we'll get going. Um, for practice this morning, I wanted to share like the beginning and end of this reading from the pivot year. Um, it's day 59. It says, the measure of a well-lived life is not how often you have avoided discomfort, pressure, or change, but the grace with which you navigated it. And then it says some things. And then at the end, it says, the merit is not in whether or not you have experienced anything challenging, but the courage with which you have faced what challenged you. That is what matters. That is what defines you. And I think oftentimes, especially in our physical practice, we see like the end goal as being like flexible and strong. And I notice a lot when I'm teaching my public classes, like there's just this desire to kind of skip all the steps to get to that point. But those challenges along the way is what really allows us this opportunity to get to know ourselves and the way that our minds work through our asana practice. And so letting the sticky points and the challenges and those moments of friction be actually tools for us and not only getting stronger through the process, but also tools for just noticing how we move through challenge and acknowledging that challenge is not a bad thing. Things that are difficult are not bad, but tools for growth. And on the other side is where we actually find our greatest expansion. So, anyhow, um, that book, The Pivot Year, I find to be nice, just a daily little like nugget of wisdom to offer us. So, for our physical focus this week, hips and twists. Staying pretty close to the earth for a lot of our practice, but getting into the depth of energy, engagement, and openness that is available when we're close to the ground, right? So let's start in a child's pose today, actually. Go ahead and find your way to your child's pose. Knees can be hips distance or wide. Big toes come towards each other to touch. And then send your arms out in front of you nice and long. As you take a moment to settle into your child's pose, allow your eyes to close. Maybe wiggle your hips a little side to side. As you start to release and relax your heart and your forehead down into the earth, to that connection to the ground below. Begin to deepen your breath, letting every inhale get really wide and expansive. Allowing every exhale to get really slow and steady. As you settle into this moment, into the awareness of your body and your breath. Noticing what's present at the space of your heart as well. Noticing energetically and emotionally what you brought with you to your practice. Knowing that you have the conscious choice of what you bring with you into your practice and what you set aside for these 60 minutes. Taking a deep breath in, let your body fill all the way up. And when you're ready, an open mouth exhale, setting aside anything you don't want to hold for your practice. And taking 2 more breaths like that, a deep inhale in. And a clean, cleansing exhale to release. Just one more time, big breath through the nose. And then open mouth exhale through your mouth. Letting your lips seal, take an inhale through your nose. And keeping your lips sealed, exhale through your nose. Keep breathing slow, steady, mindfully. Start to eventually shift forward towards your tabletop. And just so that your shoulders are stacked over your wrists, hips over your knees, maybe take a little wiggle from side to side. And we'll start to inhale to our cow pose. Begin to lift your heart, lift your tailbone. Option to lift your gaze. And with breath out, finding cat, press the earth away. Start to round your spine. Feel your shoulder blades spread wide across the back of your heart. Just 2 more cycles, moving at the pace of your own breath. And inhale to lift and open. And follow your exhale to press and curl the back of your heart up to the ceiling, relaxing the weight of your head between your biceps. And final cycle, the rhythm of your inhale pulls your heart and tailbone towards the sky. And follow the flow of your exhale to press the earth away. Draw your front ribs in, navel to spine, tailbone tucks. We'll start to make our way back to neutral, back to tabletop. Go ahead and wiggle your left knee to the center line of your yoga mat. And then cross your right knee behind. We're going to go into this little half Gomukhasana situation. Once your right knee is behind your left, split your shins wide so your left foot is going towards the right side of the room, right foot's wiggling to the left side of the room, and then start to shift your hips back in space, allowing your left knee to lift off the ground. And wag your tail side to side as you open through your hips. If you want this to be a little bit more active, you can start to kick energetically down through your right shin bone. As you keep pushing down and away, feel your hips reach a little bit further back. Take 1 more cycle of breath here. And then as we find our way forward again, unwind your legs back into your tabletop pose, knees, hips distance. Big push through your left hand, twist your right hand at the sky, preparing for thread the needle. Use the push of your left hand to twist deeper, deeper, deeper. Press the back of your right hand to the wall behind your heart. And then thread your right hand underneath you and bring the right side of your face to the earth. Take a moment to slide your shoulders out of your ears. Move your hips side to side again, finding that sweet spot. And then as you root down to the back of your right arm, you can keep your left hand where it's at. You can reach your left hand forwards towards the front of your yoga mat, or you can find your half bind. You want to wrap your left hand around your low back, reaching maybe to your right hip crease. As you breathe into the back of your heart space, really find that rootedness to the back of your right arm. And 1 more cycle of breath here. We'll bring our left hand to frame our face again. As you press down with your left palm, twist back open to the sky. Right hand reaches high on your breath in. And then exhale, tabletop release. Slide your right knee to the center line of your yoga mat now. And then tuck your left knee behind. As you split your shins wide, making space for your hips, begin to press your hips back and allow your right knee to float off the earth. And sway your hips side to side, just exploring sensation, searching for that sweet spot. Maybe think about kicking your left shin bone down into the ground so there's energy traveling through your left leg as you open your left hip. And then offer the shape 1 more big. And taking your time, begin to find your way back into your tabletop pose. As you unravel, root down through your right hand. Using that as leverage, twist your left hand up to the sky. Big breath in. Think about spreading your collarbones wide across your chest. Then exhale to dive your left arm underneath you, threading your needle. Getting distance between your shoulders and your ears, get really rooted through the back of your left arm. An option for your right hand to go forwards or find a half bind behind you. And sway your hips left to right once again. Just finding that spot that allows a deeper twist through your spine. See if you find 1 more round of breath. So you're ready to transition out of your thread the needle. Right hand returns to frame your face. Push the earth away. Big breath in. Twist your left hand high once again. Then exhale into your tabletop pose. We'll inhale to our cow pose one more time. Scoop your heart and tailbone towards the ceiling. Then on your breath out, start to tuck your toes and find downward facing dog. Reaching your hips up and back, relax the weight of your skull again. And then find a really slow pedal. Reach one heel towards the earth. Give the back of that leg its moment, and then slowly switch it out. Reach your opposite heel towards the earth. And then use this slow pedal to bring you forward towards your forward fold, taking time with each step as you make your way towards the top of your yoga mat. Once you arrive in your forward fold, let your knees soften. Relax your belly to your thighs and release the weight of your head towards the earth. An option for your ragdoll here, maybe take pinkies to opposite elbow creases, sway a little side to side, forwards and backwards, checking in with your hamstrings and the length of your spine. Maybe find a slight tuck of your chin as you take one more in breath. And as we exhale, release the arms. With softness in your knees, inhale towards your halfway lift, find extension through your spine. And exhale, forward fold, release. We'll rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, big circle sweep as you rise and reach to the sky. Then on your breath out, let your hands find heart center, close down your eyes. Pausing to set an intention for your practice, something personal to you. We'll take a big breath in. And sending that intention out, open mouth, exhale, release. Inhale, circle sweep your hands up nice and high. And as you exhale, soften your knees and dive forward to your forward fold. Breathe into your halfway lift, find extension. Then exhale to your high plank, plant your hands and take a big step back. Then giving ourselves a moment to set up a really strong plank foundation. Big push through your hands for the back of your heart activate. Draw your front ribs in, navel to spine. And then get really strong down the lengths of your legs so your quadriceps, your thighs are engaged. Lift your head in line with your spine. Then feel your Ujjayi breath, so slow, intentional inhale through your nose. And slow, steady exhale through your nose. On your next breath in, begin to shift it forward a little bit. Knees up or knees down, exhale all the way to your belly. Can you maintain that distance between your shoulders and ears as you descend? Elbows slide straight back. And as you arrive, untuck your toes. Follow your inhale to your low cobra, lift your heart. Staying lifted as we exhale, anchor to the tops of your feet and hover your hands. Then your quads light up, the strength along your spine deepen. Take one more big breath in. And exhale to release. Now to low cobra or maybe high cobra this time. And your heart opening again. Your high cobra maintaining just a little bend through the elbows, shoulders out of ears. Give your heart opening that extra breath. And when you're ready, and exhale to release. Last cycle is either cobra or the upward facing dog. With your breath in, start to open your chest. And then on your exhale, downward facing dog, hips go up and back. Deep inhale through your nose. And then take an open mouth exhale, let it go. Breathing in, lift to your tippy toes. And on your breath out, step or hop to the top, forward fold. Bring your feet to about hips distance apart this time, maybe slightly wider. Soften your knees. And then take your right hand and catch the outside of your left ankle. As you bend your knees, relax your belly towards your thighs. Start to bend at your right elbow and twist your left hand to the sky. Relax the weight of your head. Take a big breath in as you turn your sternum towards the ceiling. Then exhale, forward fold, release to center. Just switching to second side, your left hand's going to catch the outside of your right ankle. Bend your left elbow and twist your heart to the right, reaching your right hand to the ceiling. Think about pressing down and wide through your feet to spread your sitting bones. Think about pressing your shin bones wide. Take a big breath in. And then exhale, forward fold, let it go. We'll inhale to lift up halfway, extend through your heart and crown. And then exhale, forward fold, release. Deep breath in, Urdhva Hastasana, circle sweep to the ceiling. On your exhale, hands to heart center, maybe close down your eyes. Take a deep, expansive inhale through your nose. And we'll open mouth, exhale, let it go. Breath in, circle sweep tall, Urdhva Hastasana. On your breath out, forward fold, Uttanasana. Halfway lift is your next inhale. Find extension and strength. And then exhale to your high plank, big step back. Getting strong through your entire body. Follow your next inhale to shift forward. Then use the entirety of your exhale to lower down to your belly, slow and strong. At the earth, untucking your toes. Low or high cobra, take a breath in. And then exhale brings us back to the belly. We'll set up for our gecko pose, so hands go nice and wide. Tent your fingertips on the earth. Side your elbows tall, and then draw your shoulders out of your ears. With an inhale, pressing the earth away, lift your heart up any amount. And then on your exhale, dip your left shoulder towards the center, look over to the right side of the room. We'll inhale, lift and lengthen through the midline again. And exhale, second side, right shoulder dips and look over to the left. When you're ready, breathe back to center. And on your breath out, lower all the way down. Hands return to frame your rib cage. Breathe into your up dog or your cobra, open your chest. And then exhale, downward facing dog, hips go high. Breath in through your nose. And exhale out of your mouth. And we'll inhale right leg to the ceiling, find your three-legged dog. With your exhale, get really strong through your core, and then bend your knee and open your hip. Squeezing to the strength of your right seat, push through your hands, take a breath in. And then slow motion, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, lizard lunge. Taking your time for that transition. As you arrive, lower your left knee down to the earth. Think about an inhale to reach your heart forward. As you exhale, get really rooted through your right foot. Use the strength of your right leg to anchor through the four corners of your right foot. As you press down through your right foot, also think about pulling your right foot back. And a slight hug energetically of your left knee forward. So there's a lot of energy around your legs and through your inner thighs. We'll inhale to reach right hand towards the front of the room. Lengthen through your torso. Then exhale to your twist. Sweep your right hand back in space. As you spiral your rib cage open, option to add in your quad stretch. Maybe bend your left heel towards your seat. You can explore flexing through your left foot more like a hamstring curl. You can see how it feels to point your left toes. Or maybe your right hand reaches back to catch your foot, whether your foot is pointed or flexed. We'll inhale, lengthen your heart forward. And use your exhale to rinse around. So think about right shoulder falling back in space as you rotate your sternum up towards the ceiling. Maybe let your right knee fall a little bit wide, but keep strength through your right foot for one more breath. And then we'll exhale towards our lifted lizard lunge. So right hand to the inside of your right foot. Tuck your left toes and lift your left knee. Get really strong through your legs here. We're going to lean into our right foot, maybe coming towards your fingertips here. Stepping into an active malasana. So as you step your left foot wide, you're going to sink your hips low, but not your lowest. You might adjust the angle of your toes if needed. And then go ahead and bring your hands towards your heart center. Get really strong through your belly here. Take one breath in and one breath out. We're going to slowly start to press through our feet and rise to stand at the count of 5. Take your time, 4. Slow push through your feet for 3, 2, and 1. At the top, reach your hands high with an inhale. Maybe find a little bit of a back bend. And exhale your fingertips behind your head, elbows wide. Drawing your front ribs in, squeeze your shoulder blades together, press your elbows back. And start to lean over towards your right foot. So you're going to bend into your right knee a little bit, lean to your right foot, come to left to be toes. Getting super strong through your core, take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to start to lift your left knee towards your chest, twisting your right elbow towards your left thigh. You're going to find like a little lift, twist, crunch. At slow motion, step your left foot wide. Take a breath in. As we exhale, you bend into our left knee, come to right to be toes. Once you have that shift of your center of gravity over left leg, begin to lift your right knee. Just like before, we're going to find that lift, twist, and crunch. Left elbow towards your right thigh. It may or may not touch. Think about pushing through your left foot to lift your right leg so your left glute is active. Slowly step it wide. This time, reach your hands up high. Take an inhale. Rotating your toes forward, bend your knees. Functional forward fold. Really send your sits bones way back. Reach forward, forward, forward. And take your time as you slowly lower all the way down. At the bottom, keeping your feet as wide as they are, inhale towards a halfway lift. As you exhale, you're going to bend your knees a lot so you can bring your fingertips to the earth. Lean your energy into your right foot and start to flamingo your left heel up towards your seat. So you're shifting over your right foot, left heel lifts up. Slow, strong, step back to your lifted lizard lunge. So think about lengthening your left foot back and then control the lower of your left toes to the ground. From here, right palm's going to plant on the inside of your right foot. You can also use a block here. Deep side angle, spin your left heel down to the ground. Twisting open to the left side of the room, reach your left hand high. Just for one big breath in. On our exhale, left hand returns down to the earth. Spin onto your left toes and twist your right hand of the sky. Heart goes to the right. Option to stay here or find your side plank. So you pivot onto the outside edge of your left foot, step your right foot back to stack, or stagger with your left foot. If you want to lift your right leg, you can do that too, or left knee can lower to the ground. We'll take one more big breath in, pushing the earth away. On exhale, high plank pose, bring it through your center. Use an inhale to shift it forward. Exhale, chaturanga or downward facing dog. So maybe moving from high to low plank or your belly. Inhaling to your up dog or your cobra. Then exhale returns us to downward facing dog, hips go high. Take a deep breath in. Maybe open mouth, exhale out. And checking in with second side, we'll inhale our left leg to the ceiling. As you exhale, first pull navel to spine, and then bend your knee and open your hip. So your low back is supported before you find that big external rotation. As you squeeze through your left seat, press through your hands, take an inhale. Keep pushing the earth away as you step your left foot forward and wide, lizard lunge. Once you find your left foot forward, right knee releases. You may need to scoot your right knee back, but just take a second to adjust. Light up through the entirety of your left leg. Press your left foot down. Think about pulling your rib cage forward. Maybe an energetic hug of your right knee down and towards the front of your yoga mat to deepen the stretch to the front of your right hip. Let's inhale, left hand towards the front of the room. Find length first. As you exhale, swim it back, creating your twist. Find that big rotation of your heart. Decide if you want to draw your right heel in towards your right seat. So again, you can flex your foot, think hamstring curl. You can point your right toes. Your left hand can catch your foot with pointed toes, or you can flex and catch. So just being curious with those slight, subtle changes and the sensations they create. Take an inhale, lengthen through your heart. Think sternum puffs forward, shoulder blades press your heart forward. And then exhale, big rinse and rotation. Slide your left shoulder back in space as you look to the sky. Okay, from here, headed towards our lifted lizard lunge again. Hands to the inside of your left foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Option to come up to your fingertips. As we lean into the power of our left foot, we're going to try to minimize momentum here. So try not to push off your right toe so much. Lean into your left foot. I like to come to the top of my right foot here, so I'm not tempted to push so much. And then big step wide to our active squat. You're going to adjust your toes to where they need to be. That feels good for your knees. And then hands find heart center. Strong breath in. Slow breath out. As you press through your feet, slowly start to rise all the way to standing. Taking your time and using the muscular energy of your body instead of momentum. At the top, inhale to lift your heart and hands. Option for that little back bend here. And as you exhale and bring yourself upright, fingertips behind your head. Squeeze your elbows wide. We're going to lean into our left foot first this time. Starting to shift into your left foot, lift your right leg and find your twist and crunch. Left elbow towards or maybe to your right thigh. So the strength of your left glute, your core. And slow motion, step your right foot wide. Shifting the second side, start to shift to your right foot. Lift your left leg, find that twist and crunch. You can have a little micro bend through your right knee, really use your right glute energy. And then step wide, this time reaching high, big breath in. Turn your toes forward, keeping your feet wide, bend your knees. Functional forward fold. Press your sitting bones way far back. Reach forward, forward, forward. And eventually fold all the way down. We'll inhale towards our halfway lift. As you exhale, bend your knees really generously, sinking back towards that squat action. Fingertips to the earth. We're going to lean way over to the left so we can flamingo our right heel up and in. Now take your time to this transition. First, just send your right leg back, lengthening. And see how slow, how controlled you can release your right toes to the ground for your lizard lunge. Back knee stays lifted. Left hand on the inside of your left foot, deep side angle, rotate your right heel to the earth. Begin to open your heart, reach your right hand high. Think about drawing your left hip underneath you as your left knee goes wide. So left hip hugs towards the right side of your yoga mat. Left knee presses towards the left side of your mat. As you return your right hand to the earth, spin onto your right toes and twist your left hand to the sky, finding the opposite direction. You can always stay here or start to pivot into your side plank, Vashisthasana, left foot steps back. Pressing the earth away to create that buoyancy through your hips. Take a big breath in. On exhale, with control, high plank pose through center. We'll inhale to glide forward. Exhale, chaturanga or downward facing dog. Returning to our down dog, let's take a breath in. And then cleansing exhale, let it go. We're going to start to build off of this a little bit. We'll inhale right leg to the sky. On your exhale, get strong through your core, then bend your knee and open your hip. Take one big breath in. On your exhale, right knee to your left tricep, twist underneath yourself. Three-legged dog, inhale, right leg reaches high. Exhale to your lizard lunge, step your right foot forward and wide. You can always help it there. This time, back knee stays lifted, with an inhale, reach your right hand forward. Exhale, big twist from your right hand back in space. Returning your right hand to the inside of your right foot. Maybe come to your fingertips as you lean into your right foot. Coming to left tippy toes. Strong step to your active squat, no momentum. Sink your hips low, but not your lowest, hands to heart. Take a breath in. And take a breath out. We root to rise slow and strong, imagining gravity as extra heavy as you press through your feet, core engaged. As you arrive at the top, finding a moment to reach your hands high, option for that lift of your heart to the ceiling, and then fingertips behind your head, elbows wide. Inhale over to the right. As you exhale, lift your left knee, twist and crunch towards your left thigh. We're going to do a little add-on here. You're going to start to send your left leg forward, lengthen your left leg towards the front of the room. As you bring your torso upright, spreading your wings into your twisted balance. Back to where we just were a moment ago. Bend your left knee, hands behind your head. Maybe elbow taps your thigh or reaches to it again. Slow step wide, back to center. Leaning into your left foot for second side, lift your right knee. Use your core and left glute to twist and crunch. Keep your right leg lifted, send your right leg forward. Bringing your torso upright, spread your wings. Just give it a moment. Then bend your elbows, bend your right knee back into that lifted, twisted crunch. Step your right foot wide. This time reach your hands high, big breath in. Exhale, functional forward fold. Hinge at your hips. At the bottom, we're going to revisit that kind of little forward fold twist situation we started with at the very beginning. Softness through your knees. Right hand catches the outside of your left ankle. As you bend through your right elbow, pull your heart around. Reach your left hand high. Think about pressing your feet down and wide. Imagine you could get your yoga mat to rip apart. One more big breath in. On exhale, we'll release through center. Then switch it out. Left hand catches your outer right ankle. As you bend your left elbow, twist your heart around. Press your feet down and wide so your sitting bones spread open. Outer thighs pressing wide, outer shin bones pressing wide. And then when you're ready, release. And a halfway lift as you breathe in. On exhale, bend your knees deep, fingertips to the earth, finding that little froggy squat. Lean into your right foot, and flamingo your left heel up and in. Slowly start to send your left toes back first, just lengthen your leg. And then control the descent as your left toes land to your lizard lunge. Right palm plants, side angle, rotate your left heel down and reach your left hand up. Take a breath in here. As we exhale, left hand lands, turn onto your left toes, just like before, we twist right hand to the ceiling. From here, finding your side plank, you can always stay where you're at, otherwise side plank, right foot steps back, deep breath in. On your exhale, option is thread your right hand underneath your left ribs, threading the needle. Push the earth away to the left side. Then inhale, right hand returns to the sky. On your exhale, high plank pose through center. Take your breath in. Chaturanga or downward facing dog is your breath out. Moving yourself through the transition that feels really good in this moment. To return to our down dog, we'll find our way through second side. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Exhale, strong core, bend your knee and open your head. Push your heart towards your right thigh as you inhale. As you exhale, left knee towards your right tricep, shift forward and twist. Three-legged dog, breathing in, left leg lifts. On your breath out, lizard lunge, left foot steps forward and wide. Breathe your heart forward, your rib cage forward, reach your left hand forward. And then just for a moment, big twist, swim your left hand back in space. Keep your right leg strong. As you unwind from your twist, lean into your left foot. Maybe coming to fingertips without momentum. Active squat, take that big step forward. Hips go low, but not your lowest. Hands to heart center. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Slow and strong, press your feet to rise. not rushing here, really feeling the effort along the way. Maybe even adding resistance against yourself as you rise. When you're ready at the top, let an inhale, reach your hands up high. Option for that brief back bend moment. And we'll exhale, fingertips behind the head. Spread your elbows wide, collarbones across your chest. Start to lean over to your right foot. Using your core, lift your left leg, left knee, find that twist and crunch. Good. This time, as you find a transition through center, so stay on your right leg, just bring your heart to center. Figure 4, left ankle on right thigh, hands to heart. It is okay if your right toes are turned slightly open to the right from your squat. From here, we're going to rise back up, left knee to your chest, fingertips behind your head. Slowly step your left foot wide. Moving in the second side, bend into your left knee a little bit so you can shift your weight. When you're ready, lift your right knee to find your twist and crunch. Good. Keep your right knee lifted, bring your heart through center. Figure 4, right ankle on left thigh, maybe hands to heart center. Just give it a breath in. And one slow and steady breath out. So you find your way back up, right knee comes with you. Fingertips behind your head. Slowly step your right foot wide. This time you reach it high, big breath in. Pivot your toes to face forward. Soften your knees. Functional forward fold. Send your hips back in space as you dive down. We're going to skip the twist for this round. Softness in your knees a little bit. Inhale to your halfway lift. As you exhale, find that froggy squat. Bend your knees pretty generously, fingertips coming towards the earth. Lean into your left foot a lot, so shift your entire body to the left so you can flamingo your right heel up and in. Re-engage through your core as you lengthen your right leg back in space. And then slow motion, bring your right toes to the earth. Side angle, plant through your left palm. And then rotate your right heel down and twist your right hand high. So turning your heart open to the right. Lengthen your tailbone towards your left heel. As you return your right hand to the earth, or just spin onto your right toes and twist the opposite direction. Left hand lifts up. Maybe start to make your way into your side plank, Vashisthasana. Finding an inhale as you lift your hips high. Exhale, thread a left arm underneath your right. Keep pushing the earth away. Big breath in, returns your left hand towards the sky. And exhale to your high plank at center. Find your inhale. Breath out is chaturanga, down dog, or straight to child's pose to take a moment. We'll meet all together eventually in our child's pose. And we have a few slow deep breaths. If you'd like to find a child's pose, thread the needle variation. Your arms out in front of you, you're going to dive your right arm underneath your left. So press the earth away to lift your heart just a couple inches away from the ground. Right arm's going to dive underneath you. It's okay if your right shoulder doesn't lower all the way to the earth. Instead of twisting open for this round, think about squaring down to the earth. So turn your sternum towards your right bicep. Get heavy through your left armpit, forehead to your mat. Gently root down to the outside of your right arm and take one breath. When you're ready to switch sides, reach your right hand forward. Spread your left arm underneath. And think about squaring your heart down towards the ground, forehead to the earth, right armpit heavy towards your mat. As you root down with your left arm, take one breath in and one breath out. Left hand reaches forward. Begin to shift into your downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, press your hips up and back. Then from your down dog, walk your feet a little bit closer and as wide as your yoga mat. So you're in this like short, wide, downward facing dog. Bend your knees pretty generously. Pushing through your hands, press your hips back in space. Returning to that twist variation, your right hand's gonna reach to grab your outer left ankle. Bend through your elbow and pull your heart underneath your left armpit. So you're twisting underneath your left armpit, looking maybe towards the sky. Release and relax your head. Push down and away through your left hand to really stretch your sitting bones back. And as you press down and forward with your left hand, think about pushing down and forward with your feet so you really decompress along your spine. Switching sides, right hand's gonna reach forward, left hand reaches underneath you to catch the outside of your right ankle. So you bend your left elbow, pull yourself underneath your right armpit. Pushing the earth away, right hand presses down and forward. Feet push down and forward, and your sitting bones lengthen as far back as they can. Release and relax through your head as much as possible. Take one breath in and one breath out. Then returning to your traditional downward facing dog. We have like a little deep stretch progression that we're gonna move through here. So we'll start by inhaling right leg to the ceiling, three-legged. On your exhale, step your right foot forward in between your hands this time. And then twist your right hand to the sky, twisted low lunge. We're gonna turn all 10 toes to the right into our horizon lunge. As you turn your toes to the right, flex your feet. If you find that to be a little bit too much, wiggle your right foot a little bit towards the back of your yoga mat. As you flex through your feet here, you're on the outside edges of both feet. Think about lifting your hips up and then twist your heart open to the sky. Find that outer right hip stretch, similar to like a half pigeon here. Breath in. But as we exhale, we're gonna turn forwards again, all 10 toes towards the top of your yoga mat. Walk your right foot across for your half pigeon. Right shin's gonna lower to across the top of your yoga mat. It's okay if it's not parallel. And keeping your right ankle active, right foot flexed. If you need to scooch the left knee back, you can. Square your left hip forward and towards the midline. Then inhale to lift and lengthen through your heart and crown. When you're going forward, if you choose to, use your exhale and think belly goes forward first. So think belly forward towards the front of your yoga mat. And then once you reach the max range of motion there, then allow your spine to follow. And we'll be in our pigeon for about 3 to 5 breaths. So starting to really focus back to inhale in. Slow, steady exhale out. Using our breath as a tool in the midst of maybe a loud sensation in the body. Every breath out helping us to release and relax away tension. Let your shoulders release away from your ears. Soften your jaw, let your teeth part. Relax your forehead. As we rise up, we're going to push the earth away, lean over towards your right booty cheek, and then sweep your left leg all the way around for Gomukhasana legs. So legs similar to what we did in our tabletop at the very, very beginning. You're going to bring your left knee to stack on top of your right. Make sure both sitting bones are grounded. If this is not working for your body, you can also take a cross-legged seat forward fold with your left shin in front. Then take your hands and hold on to any part of your legs, maybe your ankles or your knees. Inhale towards a cow spine. So think about tipping the front of your pelvis forward, proud chest. As you exhale, belly goes forward first. Maybe walk your hands out in front of you. And then option to round through your spine. And 3 deep breaths. Think about hugging your thigh bones into your pelvis. Imagine you could reach the heads of your femur bones, so where your thigh bones come into your pelvis, all the way to the back edge of your yoga mat. As you plug your thigh bones in, think about your heart and crown extending forwards. Okay, from here, we're gonna lean back to unwind. As you unwind your legs, take your feet about max distance apart, lean into the support of your hands, gentle windshield wiper side to side. Okay, checking in with our second side on this progression, we're gonna go back through our downward facing dog, however you wanna get there. Take a moment to paddle through your feet, feel the difference between left and right sides. Take a big breath in and reset with an open mouth exhale out. Inhale your left leg up high when you're ready. On your exhale, step your left foot forward this time, hips distance. Adjust your feet as needed. Plant down to your right palm and twist your left hand high. If you're going towards your horizon lunge, you're going to start to turn all 10 toes to the left side of your yoga mat. And you might have to wiggle your left foot a little bit closer to the middle of your mat, back towards your right foot. As you flex your feet really strong, square your hips towards the left side of the room. Lift your hips up into that stretch, and then lean the back of your heart towards the wall behind you. Take a big breath in. You can move your hips a little up and down, feeling those different sensations. As you exhale and turn forward, you're going to wander your left foot across for your half pigeon. This doesn't have to be like the cutest transition. Finding your way into your half pigeon. Keeping your left ankle active and flexed. Adjust, adjust. Feel your right hip hug not just forward, but also slightly to the midline. So think your right hip bone is moving towards your inner left thigh. Once you have all of that, think inhale, lengthen, and then your belly leads the way. Can you slide your belly forward first? And then the rest of your spine follows suit. As you hug towards the midline through our inner thighs, maybe you experiment with kicking your left shin bone energetically into the ground so your left hip is active. And find those 3 to 5 really slow and steady breaths. Noticing where unnecessary tension has crept in, inviting those areas to release and relax. You can see how it feels to relax your right leg or how it feels to activate and energize through the length of your right leg. And breathing deeply for your last 2 or so cycles. Melting towards your mat a little bit more with each breath out. And no rush, but when you're ready to move towards your Gomukhasana legs, you're going to push the earth away. Lean over to your left hip so you can bring your right leg all the way around. As you stack your knees for Gomukhasana, your right knee is going to be on top this time. Adjust as much as needed so both sitting bones are on the ground. I sit on a block, or getting cross-legged seat, right shin in front. Holding onto your legs to boost your heart up. Really think about that tilt of the front of your pelvis forward. And then belly leads the way as we go forward any amount, which could be like 1/4 of an inch, right? Maybe you don't really go forward at all, that's fine. Let's soften to the eyes. Release and relax into the opening for your 3 deep breaths. Maybe for our last breath here, you think about plugging your thigh bones in and back. So you pull your thigh bones towards the back of your yoga mat. Feel your rib cage, your heart extend a little bit further forward towards the front. You can move your heart a little side to side, swaying left to right a little bit to feel different sensations. And then when you're ready to release out, just take your time to push the earth away. Like we did before, we're gonna unwind, lean back into your hands, take a little windshield wiper moment to release. And then we're gonna start to find our way to the back of our body. So scooch forward enough that you have room to lay backwards. Knees bent, flex your feet into the earth, creating your heel anchors strong through your core. Let's start to reach our hands up high with a big breath in. On your exhale, using the strength of your belly to ground your heels and lower backwards, keep pulling your front ribs in, navel to spine, and really slowly start to lower to the earth. Feel free to use your hands as counterbalance as you go, reaching your hands forward, but trying to keep the space between shoulders and ears your entire way to the ground. And once you arrive, draw your knees to your chest for a moment. We take a little wiggle side to side. And take a big breath in through your nose. And open mouth, exhale, let it go. Hands at the fronts of your knees. Let your knees fall open towards a modified happy baby. And as your knees go wide, also send them forward so your arms lengthen and your shoulders pull away from your ears. So you're pressing your kneecaps forward into your fingertips, creating that stretch up through your neck. Breath in. And then as you exhale, figure for your right ankle on your left thigh. Finding your figure four, just take one inhale and one exhale. For a moment, keep your figure four legs, but lower your left foot down to the ground. And slide your right thigh on top so you have eagle legs. Just crossing out the thighs, you don't need to cross out your shins. Hips stay where they're at. Walk your left foot towards the left side of your yoga mat, and then let both your knees tip towards the right side. So you're in this variation of an eagle leg twist. Slow and steady inhale. Slow and steady exhale. One more round like that. Really slow, wide breath in. And then slow and smooth exhale out. Just slide your right leg off of your left. Bring your knees back to center. Find any version of happy baby. So maybe this time you reach up to your ankles or your feet. Taking a big breath in. Exhale, figure four, left ankle on your right thigh, any variation. Just here for one inhale. And here for one exhale. And then keeping the figure four for a moment, release your right foot down to the ground. Slide your left thigh to stack on top of your right eagle legs. Wander your right foot to the right side of your yoga mat and let both your knees in that eagle leg twist tip towards the left. Feeling the internal rotation of your right thigh bone. Breathe twice down into your hips, down into your low back. And when you're ready, you're going to slide your left thigh off of your right. Bring your knees to the sky and then into your chest. Curl your nose up to your knees, curling into a tight little ball. Take a nice big breath in. When you're ready, exhale sends you out into your Shavasana. Arms and legs release. Head, shoulders, and hips relax. Take a moment to settle down into the earth. Maybe allowing your eyes to close. If it would feel good to take one more cleansing breath, draw a deep, deep inhale in. And then open mouth, exhale out. So you start to notice your breath again. And steady rhythm of each breath in and each breath out. So it travels through your body. Feel the ebb and flow of your breath sustaining you and offering you this moment. And giving yourself permission to close practice exactly as you are. Maybe one or both hands rest at your heart, just allowing the earth to continue to support you. Feel yourself drop a little bit deeper into the embrace of the earth, letting that sense of ease, balancing out your effort, wash through your entire body, allowing any lingering tension to be let go. We take this moment to close our practice with gratitude. And gratitude for the yoga practice itself, many lessons that we learn when we step onto our yoga mats, the way that those lessons apply into our life off of our yoga mats as well, offering us guidance and insight to navigate the world around us and the world within us. And in gratitude of our bodies and our breath. This time that we got to spend moving and breathing together. We'll take one more big breath in through the nose, let your lungs expand wide. When you're ready, one more open mouth exhale, release. May yoga offer us a path to compassion. And may our practices serve as our teachers, always leading us to live with greater authenticity and to love more deeply each and every day. Thank you so much for being here this morning, and namaste.